Hello, everyone. My name is Katie, and welcome to the Greenland Quilter channel. And today I have Sean with me. We are going to be working on the Star Climber, and we're going to go ahead and introduce the woven star in this go around. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. So, Sean, would you like to say hello and tell them about your channel and what
Yeah,
what you're going to use
absolutely.
for your Star Climber?
Absolutely. Yeah. So thank you for having me on. It's going to be a lot of fun doing this. We've been working on this the last couple of months, and the last few months I've been doing this traditionally, and I finally threw in the towel and said, you know what, let's just jump on the foundation paper piecing bandwagon, work smarter, not harder. So we are doing the woven star, as Katie mentioned, which is this pattern here, and it's really, it's a lot easier than it looks. And it's really good too if you're learning how to do foundation paper piecing. It's a really good way to start off because it helps my traditionally piece brain figure out FPP. So this has been a lot of fun. The fabrics I have chosen for today is I'm going to use this black background. So I just love the idea of a black background on my fabrics. And I've cut out enough fabric for two of the blocks. We'll see how many we get done today. This one's for the number one. It's a series of purples. And then I also have some pinks as well to use for the second one. Oh, and we'll flip it around and see there. So yeah, some solids. I've got some blenders. I'm just doing it really scrappy. I think it's going to look fantastic when it's all done. What about you? What did you pull out to work with, Katie?
So, it's as you know, I've been doing the courthouse stairs. Yeah, right. Yeah, I get
Yeah,
that.
courthouse steps, which
Yeah, I've been
looks
doing the
like this.
courthouse stairs with boutiques, and I had a boutique bundle that I kept walking by, and it kept playing. Nope, I don't want to crack it. Kept walking by it. Been doing that for months, and then last night I pulled the trigger, and I'm going to use those for the star part of it. And this is very colorful. I don't know if you can
Oh,
see.
that's gonna look.
Yeah, so we're gonna have fun with that and see what happens with it.
Yeah, I
Hi,
think that'll be a really good color combination because it kind of looks similar to, like not the same, but it kind of looks like the same sort of colors as this here that I've used.
yeah. I
And
mean,
so
I
I
was
think that,
wanting it to be bright and happy anyway, like what I'm doing, and using the cooler colors on the courthouse stairs. But I may end up putting hot colors in the courthouse stairs too,
yeah,
because I don't know. I can't make up my mind.
I'm just making up. Like, are you doing like just a mix of different colors, or are you
Yeah,
just
I'm
kind of?
going. It's going to be scrappy. That's the deal.
Yeah, that's kind of what I've fallen on too, because I've done this block as I've shown like three times already. You're probably all sick of seeing it already. And then if I can find it, I've done one of the stars already. I did a test block with Hawaiian batiks.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know those were boutiques. Wow.
Well, I actually they might not be batik. They're the Hawaiian prints. We'll just go with that.
Oh,
They may not
gotcha.
be batik.
Okay, got you.
I
All
call them
right.
batiks. You know, if they look pretty, I call them batiks. Don't mind me.
Okay,
Um,
got you.
yeah, but yeah, so you can really do whatever you want with them, and it's really fun and yeah, it's neat because yeah, you don't need a lot of fabric. You can just pull out your little scrap bucket. That's what I was doing earlier this morning, was just pulling out some pinks and purples out of my scraps and just cutting them down, and it goes together really easily. And it's very much mix or match, and that sort of thing there. So yeah, it should be a lot of fun. I've sort of cut out a few more pieces of my background, and then I'll be ready to go. So, has anyone in the chat, if you're watching a replay as well, let us know. Have you guys made these blocks or are you planning to?
Hi, Linda. Hello, Pat. Hello, Donna. Welcome, welcome. Donna from Dragonflies is here. I haven't seen her for a little while.
Yeah, she's been floating in and out.
It's good to see her here.
Yes. Oh, definitely. Yeah, she's one of my buddies. All
Yeah,
right.
I've missed some of these people. Hi, Tasha. Welcome, welcome.
Oh, Tasha's at, well, I don't know if she's out of bed, but she's awake. Sometimes her and a lot of others, tend to watch from bed, like, and we appreciate you watching, whether you're watching from bed, the grocery store, wherever you are. It's so good to have each and every one of you. Has the Easter Bunny been to any of you so far? Unfortunately, he has not visited my house yet, but usually my mother-in-law makes the girls Easter baskets, and she also makes Amanda and I one, and I look forward to that every year, even though I'm well into my mid-40s. So Pat's doing hers in blues and whites. The courthouse steps were done in red and white. Oh, that is fun. So
So you're
um,
following along with that one too. Huh?
yeah,
Hey, Pat,
please
that makes
post.
me happy, Pat.
I've heard a few people say that they're following along and they're making it as well. So if you are doing that, whether you're watching the live or the replay, please share in Katie's Facebook group, in my Discord group, wherever works best for you. Post pictures. We'd love to see what you guys are coming up with because it's always fun to see the any pattern in different colors, because it's just, it looks great how we choose to do it, but it's also always fun to see what everybody else gets up to. Tasha says kids are up at 6:30 for the Easter Bunny, so I'm up, showered, and coffeed. Very, very good. I've been up since 6 because I recorded my podcast this morning, and I haven't had the first lick of coffee yet. So we will see how this all goes. Might be a hot mess. You just never know. All right. So what else have you been up to recently, Katie? Because I haven't talked to you in a little while, unfortunately.
I've just been working on channel stuff and wait, just, you know, taking it one day at a time around here.
There you go. That's all you can do sometimes.
Yep, especially with everything going on.
Yeah.
Nikolai comes home Friday, thank God.
Oh, good. As I say, I knew he was close to coming home, so that is
I'm
really, really, really good to hear.
super glad about that. And he's actually ready to be home, so um there's that too. I think sometimes things on the boat gets crazy.
Yeah, I was wondering how that went. Like, has it been a good trip out on the voyage, I
No,
guess you call it? No?
no, it hasn't.
Okay. Well, I'm
Um,
sorry to hear that.
fishing's not going very well, and then he called me the other night, and he was a little bit miffed about something he saw about flying into the United States. So, y'all, I was going to bring him with me to QuiltCon, and now he's not going to go because
Yeah.
he doesn't feel that he's safe.
Well,
So,
yeah,
well,
it's
it's
a
because
mess.
yes, it is. So, and I that makes me sad, but I have to go to the United States myself because I have to renew my driver's license in March of next year. And while I'm there, I'm going to go ahead and renew my passport. Plus, I need to make a trip to the Social Security office to
Well, that
deal
sounds like fun.
with that too. And oh, fun. And but you have to do the Social Security thing, and I have to do it in person because I can't do it from the internet for some strange reason. It's weird.
No, I haven't been to the Social Security office in goodness, probably 20 some years. I mean, I went there and got a Social Security card after I moved here.
My thing is
The
I my age is why I have to go. So
Oh, okay. Yeah, that was funny because like I when I got here, I got my work authorization and I asked them, immigration office when I was leaving, I was like, do I need anything else to work? They're like, oh no, you're good, off you go. And went to
yeah,
work and then
normally you don't have to go up there and do anything, but when you get close to retirement age or close to being able to, draw Social Security, and all I need to do is get them to tie everything to my Florida bank account, so I don't have to worry about
right.
it. But that requires doing it in person because when I tried to do the stuff on the internet, it's like you must go in person because you cannot log onto your account. And I'm like, great.
Well, it'll be good to see you at QuiltCon. That'll be a lot of fun. I plan to be down there as well,
Are
so
you
that'll be
going to
good.
just go for one day, or are you planning on staying a night?
Probably just do the one day again.
That's one heck of a drive.
It's not too far. It's like 2.5 hours. I mean, it's a nice day trip. So,
Oh, that's it?
um,
Just 2 hours?
2.5, I think it is. We were down in Raleigh like a month ago. We took the girls down there, Amanda and Allie went to a yarn festival down there at the fairgrounds, which is only like 10 minutes from the convention center. And I took Eva to one of the museums. And yeah, I think it was like 2 hours 30, 2 hours 45. And I'm not a fast driver. Like I'm, one of those guys in the right-hand lane doing the speed limit. Like if I ever get a speeding ticket, it would
Like my
be
son.
I would get ribbed so bad if I ever got a speeding ticket because yeah, like I've been called a grandma driver and stuff. But like
That's
I
what I
get
tell Thomas. He drives like grandma.
hey, you know what? I don't want to spend all my time in courtrooms and paying the government for a bunch of money for
No,
speeding tickets and increased insurance premiums. Those things are high enough as it is. So
he's
um
35 years old and never had a ticket.
I've never had one either.
What man can say that he's not been in a car accident or not had any kind of ticket of any kind? He's not had either. But yeah, his
Well,
insurance is still very high because of his
yeah.
age.
Yeah, we're just compensating for everyone else. But I mean, I've had a
Yep.
couple of accidents, but they've never been my fault.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no speeding tickets, no nothing else like that. The police do not know who I am, and I like to keep it that way. Dragonflies for Donna is asking, is your license a real ID one? Will you have issues flying if you don't have it yet? I think that rule goes into effect soon. Her passport will be fine.
Normally when I fly domestically inside the United States, I just use my passport
Yeah,
because
which is real.
which is fine. I shouldn't have to because I've never had to show my driver's license. But I
No, your
still have to,
passport's
yeah,
good.
my passport's effective, but I still need to renew my driver's license so that I can rent a car and drive. So I have to
Hmm.
have one. And I'm pretty sure that my Greenlandic driver's license is not going to get me a car in the United States.
Probably not. No, and the US licenses are not that expensive. Like I know when I moved
No, I'm
here.
not worried about the price. I'm just worried about getting it done and getting there without any hassles. That's what I'm worried about.
Can you make an appointment online with the DMV? Because I know you can in Virginia
Oh
now.
no. Normally it's not that big of a deal, in the to go to in Lake City to go get my license, but I'm just more concerned about what's going to happen when I fly in and go through Homeland Security. That's what I'm concerned about because, they're checking people's phones and everything else. And so, yeah, I'm thinking about buying a burner phone and leaving my cell phone at home.
I think you'll be all right. You got nothing to hide, so I think
If
it.
you talk bad about certain people, you do.
Oh well, I'll still be okay because I don't do that any of that mess.
Well, that's not exactly what I mean. Uh, how do I put this so people don't get mad? Um, we all know what's going on between U.S. and Greenland. So there's discussion back and forth between me and Nikolai about it. They see that on there, they're going to be like, "Oh, you're against the administration, so let's just put you in jail." That's what I was talking about.
Okay, I gotcha.
Yep. Yeah. It's more complicated than you think. That's why Nikolai's not flying.
Right.
So I think
Understandable.
I think what our plan is going to be, since he's not going to go to the U.S. and our 15th wedding anniversary is on January the 2nd. So I mentioned to him, I said, why don't we just go to Denmark, and I'm going to try to get a hold of my sister soon, and let's go to Spain and see my sister. I haven't seen her since 1998, so let's go see her too. So
There
he
you
can,
go. Spain will
you
be
know,
Spain will be fun.
yeah, go see her, spend a week in Spain and spend a couple weeks in Denmark so he can see his dad, and and then I can fly to the United States after that.
Oh, that sounds like a good plan. I like that idea.
Well, I like that idea too because at least then we could go celebrate our anniversary, and um, you know, I think we could go like between Christmas and New Year's or something, fly
Yeah,
over there around that time frame and just do our own thing, and then I go to QuiltCon, and then I've got to go to Florida for sure, and then I need to go to California. I need to go see all my grandkids, period.
yeah.
You know,
Oh,
I
for
didn't
sure.
I didn't get to see Abby and Aria the last time I was there. I just didn't have the time to get to California at that point.
I know 'cause the US is a big country. Like you think you can just hop, skip, and a jump, and like you can. I mean, you can get to the other side of the country in a day, but yeah, it's still a commitment.
Yeah, it is. And why does this look weird? Oh no, it's okay. I was about to say, what's the deal here?
Sometimes when you
Let's
drive
see.
across the state the wrong way, it feels like a long time.
Well, yeah, and we did I mean, I think I put 3,000 miles on that truck of my daughter's because we road tripped all over Florida and we went to Georgia with it. And, it was, we stayed busy the whole, and our time was a little bit shorter than normal. Normally I stay 12 weeks and I was only there maybe 7 weeks, maybe. Let's see. Donna
Right.
says most of the real IDs ones, you need all your documents to get the license and normally you need an appointment. Make sure you research what you need. I will, because I'll have the documents. I have a bank statement along with my permanent. I have a permanent address in Lake City, so I'll just get another note from the owner of the property for that. So yeah.
Right. And where did I put my piece of paper?
But I've got to get it done. I
Yeah.
cannot just ignore it because
Yeah.
when I went to in back in 2018 when I was in the States, boy did I find a can of worms, let me tell you. I went to what I had to do is I needed to change my new married name on my driver's license and on my passport. Well, when I went up to the driver's license in Lake City, the worker says, "Do you know you have a warrant out for your arrest?" And I'm like, "What? What are you talking
Mm.
about?" Well, you didn't turn in the car tag on, and she gave me the name of the car, and I'm like, "Well, that was the van, but my daughter traded that van in on a car at a car dealership. So why am I going to be arrested for not turning a car tag in that a car dealership had?" She says, "Well, we didn't know that." I said, "So you just put out an arrest warrant for my blind?" So I had to go, yeah, I had to go do a bunch of stuff to clear that crap up. It's so weird things that go on.
Yeah. That's very, very interesting.
I'm like, how did I even get back in the country with with that on my name? I guess it didn't show up in the whatever.
Yeah, you figure that would have flagged.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly. You would have thought that would have flagged big time.
yeah, that's
But
I don't know.
fortunately for me, it didn't. When she told me, I'm like, oh my God, you got to be kidding me. And so she told me what to do, and I went and did all the things she told me to do. And then I called Lynette and I said, "Lynette, where's the tag to my van?" "It's with the car dealership took it." I said, So I told her what happened, and she's like, "Really, Mom?" I said, "Yeah." They they had to issue a whatever to stop the freezer or whatever. It was the craziest thing I'd ever heard of.
Yeah, no, that's just yeah. I don't know what to say about that. That's just yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
nuts.
I hadn't even been in the States for a long time, and I got a warrant out for my arrest. That is hilarious.
Very yeah, that's
And I'm like,
that's
oh,
something. We'll just leave it at that. Did I
yeah,
plug this
it was
in?
comical, but it wasn't comical at the same time. I'm just like, golly.
I think I probably would have peed myself or something, because like they could have deported me for that, possibly.
Yeah, the fact that they want to arrest you for a tag you didn't turn in, that doesn't even make sense to me. Because it used to be you just kept your tag and got a new tag.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a couple tags sitting in my storage unit that are from way back when. I guess nowadays you have to turn them in. I didn't know, I wasn't aware of that. And
Yep.
Lynette just assumed that the car dealership took care of it. And I said, "Well, you know what they say about assuming things.
Yep.
You need to make sure that that's what happened. Because I had a van and I had it parked at my sister's house for a little while, and then Lynette wanted to trade it in on a new, so she could buy a new car with it. And I'm like, okay, fine, because I don't know, it's not good for a car to sit, not used for months on end, or years on end.
Right.
So, it made good sense. And it didn't have a ton of miles on it. So, that was a good thing about it. So, it ended up helping her out, which was fine with me.
Well, that's good. So I am listening. I'm just trying to concentrate on this because
Well, I'm about to
FPP
show
is
you. Yeah, I'm fixing to show them the first piece here in a minute. I'm
okay.
I rewatched Kimberly's. Where is my ruler? I just had it. Doggone. Oh, there it is. Um, I rewatched Kimberly's video so that I wouldn't, make a hot mess of it.
Yeah, it's an easy enough pattern. I mean, it goes together
Yeah,
nicely.
I really, exactly. I mean, even the courthouse stairs. Once I got into the rhythm of it, I really was enjoying. I still am enjoying it. Never thought I would like paper piecing this much, but I'm really enjoying this one.
Yeah,
It,
and I mean, what is it? The papers are like what? I think the pack of 40 was it 42? I think it
um,
is.
how many? Let me see.
I think this is 42.
Yeah,
Yeah,
42 comes in
42.
this, and it's less than $10.
Yeah, I think it was like 10 for I think it might have been just like 10.48 or something. I can't remember the
I
exact
paid
cost, but
$9.98 for mine.
maybe that's what I don't remember what it was, but it wasn't expensive and it's a great, because my first real big foundation paper piecing was the Legit kit, the Toasty, and it's a fantastic product. It's well written and everything else, but it's got all these weird angles and stuff, and I'm still trying to figure out how to cut it efficiently. But these are just you cut out squares and rectangles. Oh
Well,
yeah,
yeah,
this
and
this
yeah,
is what I've got
triangles.
done so far.
Now here's what I've gotten done so far. Look how tiny mine looks compared to yours.
I know, yeah, because you're doing the four
Oh,
inch.
mine's so tiny. Oh,
Yeah, so this is actually like the one time in my life that I think I'm doing a bigger project than somebody else. Usually I'm like the tiny piecing expert, because I do,
yeah.
for anyone that doesn't watch my channel, I tend to do tiny piecing like, well, this is actually big too. I'm not
Yeah,
making
you've
good
been
example.
doing a lot of that lately, haven't you?
I have, and that is my, I don't know, what do I
I
call it?
think you're becoming an expert at it.
I don't know if I'd go that far. I'm getting more confident at it. There's
Well,
people out there that can do better than me. But thank you for the compliment. I appreciate it. But that's kind of
well, the
where, like,
stuff
I
you've been
think,
showing's been looking great. I mean, I haven't seen any flaws in them.
well, thank you for
And
that. And
even if I did, I wouldn't say anything about it, but I haven't.
I think
Ah,
we're our own worst critics. I notice stuff in each piece that I do that's wrong, but I'm just like, if no one else is going to notice it, I'm not
yeah.
going to stress about it. But I think we all, like, as quilters or crafters, we all fall into like there's something that we like more than anything else. And for some people, it's foundation paper piecing. For others, it's that tiny piecing. For others, it's
Yeah.
double ring wedding quilts and or patchwork or that sort of thing there. So like for the folks in the chat, what is the type of quilt that you or type of piecing or technique that you like most? Do you like a particular type of quilt? Like, do you like traditional? Do you like foundation paper piecing? Do you like making a particular type of quilt that you just like to do over and over and over again? Does it bring you joy? I'd love to hear. So mine's definitely tiny piecing. What about you, Katie? What would your answer be?
I out of everything I've ever made so far, I would say that out of all of the things that I've created as I've learned, the one quilt top that sticks out the most to me that I'm the most proudest of is my sugary dew,
I
because
was
that one just it not only pushed me over, like pushed me to achieve something, but I learned so much from that because there was paper piecing, there was this one row was called the Delta row. That really almost put me under the bus, and I have, even though I struggled with that particular row until someone stepped up to help me, because I almost gave up on it. And they're like, nope, you're not giving up. Tell me what's going on. And when I explained that I was a visual learner and I couldn't figure out how to flip those triangles to sew down that quarter-inch line and they wouldn't come out straight across like they were supposed to, because you were rotating every other one. And so they said give them a couple of days. It was two women, and then I got an email and it was step by step what to do. And when I did what they told me, suggested, I'm like, and then when I did it, it was like an aha moment. I'm like,
Yes.
oh my God, I did it. I did it,
Yeah.
And I was just, it was the best thing ever to finally accomplish something that was really I was really struggling with, because everybody knows that I'm angle challenged. We talk about this a lot. I always put half square triangles in the wrong darn direction, no matter what. I did last night on my um on my Phoenix. I had to rip those half square triangles 3 times out before I finally got them in the right direction.
I know. I meant to say something to you in the chat last night about that because I was watching off and on, and normally I have a rule that if I have to rip something out more than twice, it goes into the sin bin, and
Well, I can't
because
exactly do that with my PMQ.
I know. So I mean, I was just like, I'm proud of you, Katie, for persevering for that because yeah, if it was 3 times, I always have a backup project usually on my lives. That way,
Yeah.
if it's 3 strikes and you're out.
Well, you're right
Um,
about that. I could have switched to something else. That you got a point there, but I chose not to. I felt like that. Um, there's been a couple comments made recently about some about my lives, and the comments have been that they like that I am actually not. They didn't use authentic. What is it? Like real life. If I make a mistake on a block, instead of trying to hide it, they see it and they see what we're doing. But
oh
you
yeah.
you would be so proud of me. Well, you probably were last night because I didn't freak out. But my freak out times have been less and less and
Oh,
less and less, and I've gotten better about just taking it in stride. And last night, yes, I had to rip them out, and yes, I complained a little bit last night about it, but I wasn't
you
really
have
up.
to.
I wasn't upset. I was just I don't understand why I make the same mistake over and over, and I talk about that a lot because I don't understand why I still don't get it. But I'm not beat when I say things like that. I'm not beating myself up. I just wish that
Yeah,
my brain and my hands would all sync with each other.
yeah. And I think that is important. Like, and I get similar comments on my channel where, people enjoy, like, they relate to the fact that you do show your mistakes because there are channels out there and there are, tutorials out there that do show you step 1 through
Yeah.
20 perfectly. Wonderful. It's good to see that. But I think it's encouraging to folks too that see that, hey, look, even though these, folks are doing this online, they're showing the world, they make mistakes just like I do because I
Yeah.
think
You're
sometimes they
you're
see the
only
perfect,
human.
yeah,
Yeah.
because sometimes they see these perfect productions and they're like, well, why can't I do that? That they can see it. But what you're not seeing behind the scenes is those folks that are even doing it perfectly, how many takes did they do to do it right?
Yeah. Well,
I
it's
can
like
almost guarantee.
It's like when you watched Kimberly's video and I watched Kimberly's video of this star, and well, she did both that on that same video. And the way she does it, she just goes through it like it's nobody's business, and she doesn't worry about whether something lines up or not. And it always lines up, which is amazing to me, because she's missed perfect. She wants everything to be perfect, of course, but in the end, when she's doing it, you're like, how does she do that? I want to be like her, kind of, but not with I'm not striving for perfection. I'm
No.
just striving for getting it done right.
Yep, I'm with you on
That's
that
what I'm
one.
striving for. Yeah.
Yeah, this having said that though, this pattern is fairly
Yeah.
fairly straightforward. I have
Yeah.
touch wood, have not had to rip anything out yet because I do not want to rip out with paper piecing because
Yeah. Me either.
that would be an absolute nightmare. So
Yes, it would. It would
take your
be a
time.
disaster.
Yeah, take your time, get it, just make sure you're doing it right. Like I double check, triple check everything with this. All right, so I'm a little
Well,
behind
there's
you, but
more
that's
comments
okay.
here. Let me catch up on the comments here. Okay. Wow, we missed a bunch of stuff, looks like.
I know I
Um,
saw that.
let's
Morning, Miss
see.
Kim.
let me back up here. Okay, to answer your question, Pat says I like it all, but I really love paper piecing. I'm getting where I like it a lot. And then Rita says, nope, do not have a particular type other than the scrappy ones. And then Christina Stromberg says hello to both of us. Hello, Christine. Welcome, welcome. And
Good to
then
see you.
Donna says, I like various quilt patterns and enjoy FPP when stressed for a no thought stitch on the kind of sew. Yeah, it's a no. Yeah, exactly. I like that part of it. That's what I like about it is because you don't have to think about anything. You just once you get the rhythm going, you just keep on going and going until you're tired. And hello, Kathy Klein. Welcome, welcome. Hi, Kim. Good to see you. Um, Donna says my Scrappy would look better if a 2-year-old sewed the pattern.
I think she's been too hard on herself.
Oh, you're being too hard. You
Yeah.
just, yeah, you just have to keep playing till you. One of the things about doing Scrappy blocks is you cannot. What you need to learn to do is don't think about it. Just start sewing things together. That's the best
Yeah.
way to do it.
For sure, and I think you have to be, and yeah, because I've talked to other content creators. I think Becca is one of them, if I remember correctly. And if I'm wrong, Becca, and you happen to watch this, please forgive me. But I don't think she's a huge scrappy person. And I think with certain mindsets, like there's some folks that are very, very analytical, and they have to have things in a certain order. And for that, I don't think scraps work for them. So you like if you do scrappy stuff, you just have to be okay with just it being random. I mean, I used to like I did a scrappy project a couple of years ago, and I used to kind of stress over everything, like trying to make sure I didn't have the same fabric in the same row and everything else. And I finally got to the point where I was like, okay, Sean, as long as the same piece of fabric's not next to each other, it's okay. Let it go.
Yep.
And once I figured that part out, it went so much smoother. So yeah, just let it go. Let the fabric fall where it may, and just have a good time with it, and you will do just fine and dandy with that. So
Yep.
I don't know if I
I that
showed this
that's how I
section.
look at it too. Just don't overthink it. Just go with the process and
Yeah,
enjoy it.
yeah, that'd be
Um,
my advice. Just don't have the same piece of fabric next to each other, and
yeah.
past that, you'll be fine and dandy, having a good time, and your life will be so much easier. I learned the hard way. Don't be like me.
Rita says there is really no such thing as a perfect no oops thing that happened make it any project. And then Donna says, Katie, FQS has a lot of shorts that show Kimberly's outtakes. You'd be amazed at how much help and the mistakes she makes. She is human. I haven't watched her shorts actually. I'm always watching her lives because I caught the live Friday also. And then Pat says, I agree with Rita. Friday night's block was a good example. I sewed two sides. Yeah, I saw it, Pat, but I was afraid to say something about it on the live. That's why I didn't say nothing. But she saw, so she, so to update you here a little bit, Sean,
Uh-huh.
um, every other Friday I've been doing blocks from a book. And Pat has the book and she's been sewing blocks too. And there's 3 or 4 people doing it right now. And so she posted her block that was for Friday night on Facebook. So I showed it on Facebook, or I went to Facebook and, to share the picture so everybody on the live could see it. And she saw the mistakes by looking at the picture through the live. And we were all telling her it looked great because it did look good. We loved it. But you could also see the mistake, but I didn't say anything about it because I didn't want, it's not but she caught
Yeah.
it. So she caught it. She went and fixed it and then reposted a new picture of it.
Yeah, and that's one of the fun things about doing a live and that sort of thing there too, is like at least in my situation is I've made mistakes and it's the audience is like, hey Sean, you've messed this up. Like,
Yeah.
and you can catch it's allowed me to catch it a lot quicker than in the past. But sometimes I just you'll get errors and you just chalk them up to like a Bob Ross happy accident. Like there's a good example here. I noticed this during my live yesterday. I was making this beautiful block and
I
this
saw you were working on it yesterday or last night.
this row here, like this piece here and this piece here is actually supposed to be this way.
Yeah.
I'm
Yep.
not changing it.
I see it. Yeah.
You see it now, but how long did you have to look at it before you noticed it?
I wouldn't have noticed it if you hadn't pointed it out. And now
Exactly. I looked
looking
at
at it,
this, I
it
was like,
still
you know
looks like
what?
it's supposed to be like that, actually.
Exactly. I figured, the amount of time it's going to take me to pull it out, rip it out, change it, and put it back together. I don't think it really matters that much. So
Well,
I'm leaving it as it is. That makes it mine. I think every gnome that I've made some embellishment or happy accident on it. So, it is what it is. But I love the idea of the outtakes that Rita was talking about. Maybe I should do some shorts with some of the outtakes and the goof
yeah.
ups that because I'm always looking for content for shorts, because it's something that YouTube pushes for your channel and it kind of helps growth. And I always struggle with that. So yeah, maybe I need to start doing outtakes of my boo-boos. That'll give me some content for a while. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Definitely would.
that's a
Yep.
really good idea. I like that a lot. Good
Yeah.
morning, Miss Fallon. It's good to see you.
Hi,
Good morning,
Pal. It's
Rita.
good to see you.
Yeah, she was in my chat yesterday. It was really good. I think she's been busy with her kids and their soccer tournament. She was saying yesterday that her daughter's team only had 9 players instead of 11. And they still beat the other team. So,
Oh
um,
boy.
yeah, I mean, to win with 2 people down, I mean, that's pretty darn impressive. But it was interesting that you were saying, I don't know how much sewing I'm going to get done today because I'm just going to sit here and jabber jaw. I hope that's okay.
No, that's fine.
That you find foundation paper pieces relaxing. I have to
Yeah.
think harder when I do that. So it's interesting that you guys find it more relaxing. I may in the future, but I think I'm still very much hardwired for found enough regular piecing. So,
I
but it's
definitely
interesting.
like it. I mean, look how many love blocks I have hanging behind me. I mean, it's a Moda blockhead block, but that's where I practiced. That's why there's so many of them back there. I kept making them over and over again because one of the problems I was running into is I was doing the E's backwards, which
Oh,
is
okay.
hilarious. Let's just, but it taught me a lot about how to handle the fabric and how to make sure that the 1/4 inch is done and not get in a hurry, just relax and go with it. And I think that's why I don't mind doing this style because I like it. And I don't know why I don't do more of it more often because if you think about it, I don't have that much paper pieced. So, and we're getting behind on the chat too again. Okay.
Well, that's a good problem to have. We love people chatting, I always like to see the chat move along and that sort of thing there because it means the audience is engaged and they're enjoying themselves.
Yeah.
And yeah, if you are enjoying this video, please hit that like button, help Katie out a little bit because it does help, it does help her out immensely.
What I love about this group of people is that they are not afraid to say, hey, like what you were pointing out, if somebody said you made a mistake on something, that they point it out and they do it, because they're trying to help, not to be
Oh,
this,
exactly. Yeah. I
and
mean,
that's what I
it's
love about this whole community is everybody's trying to help each other out. And
yeah,
Pat says, uh-oh, I already lost it, looks like. Wait a minute.
I do that all the time, so don't worry.
Let's see. Rita says with Scrappy, it's just sew any shape or color together and make a block. And then she says, exactly with Scrappy stuff, there's nothing the same. It's all just random in color, no shape size, just sew. Yep. And then Rita says, sometimes the boo-boos or what seems to be a mistake is done on purpose. Yep. No, and no, not change that, Sean. And then
I'm not
Pat
going
says,
to. That
and then
decision's been made.
yeah. And then Pat says, you could have said something. I don't mind when someone helps me. I wouldn't have had hurt feeling. And it's hard because we don't meet us content creators can't see y'all's face.
Yeah.
When we're body language this is the downside to the internet. You right now we have video, of course you're seeing me, but back in the day we couldn't even see each other at all.
Right.
And when someone types something, it can be misconstrued in the worst kind of way, and you're like trying to be kind, and it didn't come off that way. That was why I didn't say anything. But I was just happy that you saw it when I showed it, because sometimes when we see it in a different way on a picture, Like
Yeah.
I have had it happen so many times. I'll look at a quilt hanging on my design wall and it looks all fine and dandy. And then I go and take a picture of it. And then when I'm looking at the picture, I'm like, oh my God, I have triangles in the wrong direction.
Yep. I've done that more than five
Oh
times.
yeah, I have done it so many times. It's just crazy.
It was like the first puzzle mishra quilt I did. Um, I put that thing all together and then I realized that some of the triangles are in the opposite direction and that sort of thing there. And I was like, I could rip this out and spend hours fixing it, but
Yep.
it looks okay. I was like, the only one that's ever going to notice is possibly Kim Moos or Christine, yeah, Sheila, the quilt
Sheila,
designer. And
yeah.
I was like, first of all, I don't think either one of them ever go to see this thing. And second of all, I don't think that he really ever really pay any attention. So I just left it there. And now, like 2 or 3 years later, I couldn't tell you where those mistakes are. So, um, but yeah, like Fallon's saying here, it's interesting how you can see things so much more in a photo. And I've noticed that too. It's so true. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
sometimes it's good to take a photo of a quilt and then look at it, later on or that sort of
That's
thing
when you
there.
actually see whether it's something wrong with it or not wrong with it. By doing that. At least that's my take on it because I sure have found many mistakes that way. When I take a picture of a block, I'm like, uh-oh, I turned that wrong. Even on just because I like to, well, you've seen I post pictures of just the blocks I make, and sometimes I look at that picture and I'm like, uh-oh, something is not right.
Well, it's
And then I
interesting.
go,
I took a photo the other day of the Wild West Puzzle Mystery Quilt because as an ambassador, I get early access to the last clue so I can put it all together and reveal it on Friday afternoon. And so my quilt top is done. I'm actually done a week and some early, which is like the first time ever. And I took a photo of that and I was looking at it a little bit later on and it looks beautiful. And I'd love to show you, but I'd get in so much trouble, so I'm not going to. But
oh, don't let me.
part of it almost looks three-dimensional to me.
Ah, gotcha. Well,
I
yeah,
won't say how or where or anything else like that because again, I'll get in a lot of trouble. But it was just really interesting. Like I never saw it when I was looking at the quilt, but when I looked at the photo 10 or 15 minutes later, I was like, good gravy, this thing looks like it's almost three-dimensional. And I don't know if it's going to work on any, like if it's going to look like that on any other colorways. I've only seen one other.
well,
And
it's like this block, Sean. I want you to look at the part that looks like it's supposed to be the legs of maybe a star or something. But if you ask me, when you look at that, it looks like it's a two-dimensional coming off of it.
yeah,
Can you see what I'm talking about?
yes,
Right here, it looks like a block coming out.
yeah.
But I can also see the legs of a star also. But if you look with that dark color, it tricks your mind and makes it look like it's two-dimensional.
Yeah, see, I see a part of a star too, but I'm not sure how it's going to work because, um, yeah, but it's way too early in the thing to even try and guess what
Yeah,
it
well, I'm not
is.
trying to guess. It just that when I
I,
saw it on the screen, I'm like, wait a minute, that look because when I was just looking at it with my eyeballs, it just looks like legs of a star. But
yeah,
when I was looking at it on the video, I'm like, oh my gosh, that looks like it's two-dimensional.
yeah, it's always so interesting to see how different it looks um, on a screen, like a photo or that sort of thing afterwards. So, if you haven't done that, try it out and see how it works out for you. See, Zaza's here. Good afternoon to you.
Yeah, and I need
Crystal
to
says,
yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
sorry, I didn't mean to take over. I'm used to being the
No, go
host.
ahead. I mean, there was a couple comments. I didn't know if it would be Rita said something up above about with any where'd it go? She said she learned a hard lesson from ripping apart a California king quilt that was all quilted. Found boo-boos in it and ripped it completely apart. And now if that happens again, it stays that way, period.
Yep, I'm the
Yeah, I
same
can't
way.
imagine ripping a already quilted one apart. And then she says, with any paper piecing stuff, one thing I do not ever do is sew on the paper. You use freezer paper. Well, I don't particularly care for freezer paper. I like doing it this way. It's too hard for me to do it the other way. I don't care for it at all.
I found I haven't used it for foundation paper piecing, but I found freezer papering is fantastic for cutting out applique.
Oh, is it?
Oh, abs fantastic. I would not use anything else. Because what you can do is you can trace the like if you're trying to cut out like I used it for like a platypus and some other Australian animals, and they were fairly complicated shapes to try and cut out. And so basically all you have to do is like you have your image that you want to trace out, you put the freezer paper on top of it, you draw on the freezer paper because it's transparent, so you can kind of see through it. You cut it out, and then you can iron the freezer paper onto your fabric, and it
Oh,
sticks.
okay, gotcha.
And then you cut it out, and then once you're done with it, you just peel the freezer paper on it. Doesn't leave any residue, and away you go. So for applique, someone suggested freezer paper applique to me one time, and I'm like, what are they talking about? And I went and watched some videos about it, and yeah, I tried it. I've tried it several times, and yeah, for me, it's definitely the way to go. I mean, you can buy a roll of freezer paper at the store for a couple of bucks. It'll last you forever. And yeah, absolutely fantastic for appliques. So I need to do a video, like a quick tutorial video on that at some point and show folks how that works. But yeah, absolute game changer for me and my applique.
Hey Zaza, welcome, welcome. And I think I said hi to Fallon already. I hope I did.
Yes. Yeah, I think we were talking to her a little bit earlier.
Um, Rita says, or I have put something on the design wall or board and looked at it through a camera, then you see it as others would see it. It makes it easier to see if something is not. Yeah, exactly. That's why
That's a good point. Yeah.
I take pictures constantly because of that. Because
Yeah, I don't have,
cameras
I
don't
don't,
lie. It shows you everything. It's interesting how it does that. But I feel like that I've gotten a lot better with I've noticed over the last couple months, um, I'm finally seeing that I'm actually improving on things. I just feel like I'm getting better at some stuff.
yeah, and that's one of the beauties of having the channel is like you can kind of go back and look and see, okay, well,
Yeah,
6 months ago I was doing this, and now I'm able to do this. It's yeah, I've that's been something for me where I've been able to do that. And as a viewer, taking photos of of your progress and doing it that way does the same things does the same effects. Like so, you don't have to run out and start your own channel. If you want to, please do. It's a lot of fun, but it's also a lot of work. But yeah, I
yeah, it's
highly
not easy,
encourage.
that's for sure.
Yeah, I highly encourage everybody to take photos of your progress. And so that way you can look back and see what you've done and what you've learned and everything else. And it's so much easier now. When we were all younger, like kids and that sort of thing there, back in the day of film cameras and that, you couldn't take a lot of photos because it costs, a lot of money to develop. And now with digital cameras and cell phones, um, storage is almost unlimited. So yeah, Rita says, Katie, what I've noticed is you're a lot more relaxed than even a month ago. Yeah, and that with lives, it takes time to get more comfortable. Like if you go back and look at my first 6 months or so of lives, I'd probably cringe if I went back and watched those now. So, but yeah, you do get far more comfortable. I know I'm a lot more comfortable now than I used to be.
Thank you for saying that, Rita. I realize that I have. I think with the lives too, being able to talk. I didn't have to beg or nothing for Nikolai to join in on the lives, and I think that because we have this little thing that we do together, and you've heard me talk about this a few times, multiple times actually, about if I didn't have before YouTube came along, or before I started doing YouTube, that is, we would be in the what we're now going to call a craft room, and he would be building Legos, and I would be sewing, and we would be listening to audiobooks. That's actually what we do. We've always done that, those three things together, because it's a way to spend time together without sitting in front of the boob tube, or him gaming on the computer while I'm watching the boob tube, because you might be in the same room when you're doing that, but you're not really paying attention to each other. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
then he said yes about doing a live. I don't know exactly how to explain this, but having him has helped me calm down a little bit, I think. Because he's like my he's my everything. That's about all I can say.
He's
He
just safe
just
space.
he just makes it better, you know. And I have I'm not going to tell you what the secret is, but I talked to him about doing something with me on the live, and he agreed to it. So stay tuned, you guys,
There you go.
because it's going to be fun what you're going to see. Because I'm super excited about it because I thought I would get a no, and I didn't get a no.
I
I
have an
got
idea of,
I
I have
got
a
it.
guess.
Okay, I'll do it. So it'll be fun. I hope I'm not sewing this the wrong way.
I'm thinking that she's going to teach him how to sew.
I'm not telling.
I know, but when it happens, you heard it from me first. And she
I
didn't tell me.
know.
She didn't
I
tell me, so don't say I don't have inside information. I can assure you 100% of
yeah,
that.
I haven't told Sean.
No, this is the first I've heard of it, but
I've only
that's my
told
best.
one person what the plan is. But I
Yeah,
think you guys will enjoy it. And the other thing that's going to happen is he bought me um that a lot some of you know about it already, but some may not be aware of it. But remember back in December, I ordered Legos for Christmas for him while he was out at sea. And there was actually two particular Legos that I wanted, but one in particular, because there's nothing like a Lego kit that says love. And that's exactly what it is. It's a love kit. And I'm like, I want that one. And when I was playing Secret Santa for his Legos, I decided I would wait,
yeah,
and just, buy his things, and we'll hopefully they won't sell out of them and I can get it later. So when he went through Denmark on his way to Iceland, he bought the darn kit for my
that's
birthday.
fun.
Yeah. So we're going to do the kit together at the table on a live, and he's gonna be what do you call it? Competitive. He's gonna say, I bet I get my half done faster than your half, So it's gonna be fun for
Yep,
everybody.
that sounds good.
But it'll
So
be a lot.
that's
Uh-oh.
that's what I've gotten done so far.
Yeah, I got two pieces done too. Here's mine.
Okay, okay, so I'm not too far behind. All right, we'll show them
No, you're
together.
not, because we've been talking a lot. Here's mine. Mine's so tiny compared to yours.
Hey, I'm glad I did the six. I really, if you haven't done this sort of thing before, there's two sizes, a 4-inch and a 6-inch block. Um, I would recommend a six. Um,
Yeah, don't do what I did and pick the four, because you might find the four a pain in the rear.
I mean, it's not. I
It's
don't think
not
it's that.
bad.
Yeah, I figure that there'd be less blocks for me to do too. So, um, I figured I'd get done quicker because there you go.
Well, I definitely wasn't trying to hurry up and get this done. This is not what this is about.
Not me either, because I'm slow as molasses with this stuff.
Yeah,
Because
I don't. Yeah, I want to enjoy the process and don't stress too much about, anything else. Where
yeah,
is, I just, there it is. I'm looking for my tweezers. So you guys get to guess what it is you think I might be going to do with my husband. Okay. Katie, let's see. Going into lurking mode says Zaza. She's got to clean the garage. Yay, what fun. Yeah, no fun at
better you
all.
than better you than me. I don't have a garage to clean, so
Yeah.
um,
Fallon says, I cringe at my first videos, but it's still weird editing my videos now. I'm my worst critic. Yeah,
me
the
too.
editing part, I'm still the lives the lives I'm getting better at, but it's the freaking pre-records I still find so hard. I keep I use a clip chip on my laptop. Oh, I'm down to one laptop right now. We have two dead laptops right now.
That's
Mine
not good.
first Nikolai's crashed and burned. We both have the same laptop, so it's both of the same laptops. his crashed and burned, and then about a month later, mine died. And these are new laptops that we bought. So yeah, we bought them back in a year ago.
Oh,
And
I'm
so
sad.
it's very
Sad to hear.
upsetting because all of my stuff is sitting on that hard drive right now until he gets home and we figure out about sending. We're probably going to send it to Sissy Moot to get them to remove all the data off of it because I need my stuff. And
Yeah.
that's the second hard drive that I have crashed and burned. Not well, yeah. I also have an external hard drive that stopped working as well, and that was full of stuff. All of my trip from last summer. Oh, I was so upset because that was gone. Because I'm hoping that I can sit. I'm hoping I can find a data company that can try to get it off for me and hope that they can rescue most of what's on it. I don't even know what happened. It just quit work. It was working 1 minute and then it stopped. And I was backing up everything I was doing onto it. So it was my
Right.
backup.
Yeah, it's sad when that happens. I try to keep everything on mine on a cloud. So that way
Yeah,
if
I know. You've already been talking to me about that.
well that way if my phone because I do most of my stuff on my phone, like if my phone dies or the laptop dies or
Yeah,
something like that, then I shouldn't lose the footage, because
yeah,
it's stored somewhere else. And cloud storage is fairly inexpensive.
yeah. I signed up for the lowest one that's what, $10 a month or something.
I don't remember.
But I haven't used much of it, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'm so I'm I don't know why I'm leery about it, I guess. What if one day I can't pay a month and they take all the stuff off of it?
Well, because like I use Google Photos and I've got storage on that, and I think I paid like $30 for the year
Yeah.
for it. So, and I'm already paid up through next year sometime. So
Well,
I'll find,
I have Flickr, which a lot of my photos go there, but I
yeah.
really don't want to upload all my YouTube videos to that. Not
I
really.
whatever's on YouTube usually just stays there. I don't keep it. Like once I've
Yeah.
uploaded, I usually get rid of it. Um,
Well, the what I mean is, when I make video, like when I go out on the boat and I make those videos,
yeah.
um, which is what I was backing them onto a hard drive so I'd have a backup of it. And of course, I don't anymore. So, you know, and putting them on, and I could put them on Flickr, but they would be in their raw format, not edited.
Right. Yeah, just look at those sort of options. It might be good to have something so that way if something does happen, at least you've got a safety net.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
true. You have a point
that's all
there.
I'm telling you.
Yeah,
So,
you got a point, and I'm not disagreeing with that.
yeah.
It's something that I should have thought of to begin with, but you know, money going out for Canvas and money going out for uh Zoom, that stuff
Yeah,
starts adding up.
it does. That's why I got rid of Zoom because
Well, Zoom's
and
not
you'll
expensive to me. I mean, I pay $15 a month, but I also pay $15 a month for Canva.
all
I
right,
can't
let's
afford StreamYards because that's like 50 darn bucks.
yeah, the paid part of that is I for us I don't think it's worth it. The free works well for me, but I don't do as many lives as you, so you'd run over
Yeah,
the free
exactly.
limit.
Yeah, I do more hours than you're allowed to do on that.
See, what
So,
I think you could do is you could do your 20 hours on StreamYards, and then there's another, I think it's like Redux or something else. You could just, just work your way around the different
go around
services.
the circle.
I mean, there's no, there's no law against it. So,
No,
yeah,
not that I know of. I mean, a video is a video no matter what you upload to YouTube.
yeah. So, yeah, that might be an option for you down the road. There was a couple of comments here in the chat. Rita says she completely understands. I talked my hubby into being alive with me. He was so funny. She would never attempt to teach her husband to sew. I would have no hair. I tried to teach Amanda how to sew, and she was a trooper. She tried it for about 10 or 15 minutes, and she just realized it wasn't for her. Her heart is for knitting, and it didn't bring her any joy. She just, the sewing machine terrified her. She didn't she didn't like it, and that's perfectly okay. It's
Yeah,
it's you know
it's not going to be everybody's cup of tea. Rita said, she refuses to edit videos. She just puts them on, boo-boos and all. The only thing I edit out of videos mainly is Dead Space #1. And the other thing is I've gotten where I started adding like a little thing at the beginning of the video and one at the end of it to kind of like give an idea what the videos, just a bit of information if it's like a podcast or something where you're learning something. But she also says you should be able to log onto the hard drive from another computer to retrieve it. How? Because I can't even boot up the Windows system on the laptop. That's what's wrong. It won't load up Windows. It's like something happened to Windows. If you can tell me, then if there's a way for us to do it, I'll do it myself and back it up.
I think what she's trying to say, and my knowledge is somewhat limited, but I think you can plug the hard drive into another device that's working and pull the files off that way, because it'd just be like, instead of being C drive, it may be like Q drive, or it'd be treated as an external drive. You might have to get a cable to connect it.
Yeah, I was just thinking
Um,
you might need some kind of piece of hardware to do that with.
yeah, I think you'd need like whatever you plug into the hard drive. I forget what those things are called. You might have to plug it into like I don't know if
An
it's like a
adapter.
HDMI cable or
Yeah.
USB-C.
Can an
Yeah,
HDMI? Yeah, can an HDMI work between
I
two?
don't know how you would do it, like what hardware you need. But again, you could go online and look and see what happens. But I
Okay.
think what she's saying, oh, okay, you can use a direct, it's called a direct connect. The cable is yellow.
Oh,
So
I bet I have one of those cables here in this house somewhere.
get in touch with Rita, because apparently she knows a lot more than I do.
Yeah, because
Um,
I became computer illiterate a long time ago when I stopped doing things.
yeah, like in theory, I know what you're saying, like in theory, but as a HDMI works too. Yeah, so get in touch with Rita. She'll get you sorted out.
Oh,
Um,
HDMI will work too. Oh
but
my
you got
God.
to have it. You've got to be able to plug it into the what's a majigger thing? The
No
hard
hardware,
drive.
just a network cable. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Hi, Andrea. Welcome, welcome. It's okay if you fell asleep. I
Yeah,
know
I
you're
put people
tired lately. A
well,
lot
people
of
tell
people
me they
have.
watch my lives and fall asleep all the time, and I used to get like a little worried about that. But I like to think now that it's
No,
just it's just my soothing voice that calms people and puts them to sleep. So,
what it is we sit in front of our TVs watching it, and sometimes we fall asleep, but it's not because there's something wrong with your video. It's not at all.
nah, I
Because
fall
I can
asleep.
watch, listen, I can put on a movie, a Star Wars movie, and I'm asleep 10 minutes into it. And it's not because it's not boring. It's just
Oh,
Katie just falls asleep in the middle of a darn movie.
oh, I do too. Geez, wasn't long after I moved here. My mother-in-law um bought tickets for us to go see a musical. I think it was Les
Oh
Mis.
Lord, did you fall asleep in a live one? Oh
Oh
no.
yeah, I was hard out of sleep apparently during the battle scene or something.
Oh no.
I don't think I wasn't invited back to another one since, so that worked out nicely. Um, I still blame jet lag. It was like a week after I got here, and
Uh,
that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Whether it's true or not, you'll just have to find
so
out one day. Um, but yeah, I fall asleep during movies all the time. Like, yeah.
yeah, just sit on the bed and I'm conked
If we
out.
go to if we go to a cinema, or like Amanda will give me a rating, like like how good the movie is. Like if I don't fall asleep, well, it's absolutely fantastic. If I only nodded off once or twice, it's still pretty good. Like there's like a Sean Knapp system, movie rating system. So yeah, I'm
I'm
like
rather
that. But
excited about, I've been complaining. I told Nikolai, I'm like, we have been in a movie drought on any of the streaming services. There's a movie drought. I mean, it's like there's no Marvel movies to watch. There's no Star Wars movies to watch. There's no really good science fiction movies to watch. All this garbage on Netflix, I don't want to watch 80% of it because it just doesn't, it, I need action,
Oh, well, I was going to say there's this really good guy on YouTube called The Guy Who Sews, but there's not that much action on there, so I guess that's not what you're looking for.
But you know what I'm saying.
I
And
do, yeah.
and I'm like, when are I'm not too excited about the new Superman movie coming out because I feel like the DC people did a terrible thing by just trashing all the actors the way they did. Just started brand new way of doing things. And so I'm not sure. Well, I will watch it and see if I like it, but we'll see. The jury will be out because I really thought Henry Cavill really did a good job of it. And then there's the Wonder Woman thing. I'm like, finally, they put Wonder Woman back on a movie, and now they took it away again.
Oh, I haven't watched a lot of those. I'm one
I
of those folks that likes to watch my favorites over and over and over and over again.
Well, I never was a DC person to begin with, but when they brought Wonder Woman out and Aquaman out, that was up, especially because Jason Momoa is such a good actor. That was right up my alley. I was really enjoying them. But there's other things I like. I didn't, when Marvel started putting the first Iron Man came out, and I'm like, I don't even know what Iron Man is, so I didn't even see the first movie. And then the first Avenger came out, and I didn't know what that was about, so I didn't see it in the theaters. But then I watched it on I bought it or I rented a DVD or something, I guess. And when I brought it home with me, I'm like, oh, this is interesting. I actually enjoyed it. And I'm like, oh, this is cool. And the next thing I know, I'm watching all the Marvel movies, and now we have all of them in the house.
Well, that's fun.
But now I like watching them on the Disney Channel because I don't have to get up and put something in the
I know
DVD
it's so
player.
much easier these days.
It's just do the streaming. But we'll always have the Blu-rays and the DVDs.
Yeah. Crystal says her husband does that to her all the time. I'm assuming that's fallen asleep. I tell him what you I tell him what you think. I'm a computer tech. He goes, well, you do have the computer science degree. I said, ha ha ha. So, yeah, as I said, I know in theory how it all works, but I haven't actually tried to do that. But these days it's so much easier because, like, you've got friends like Rita out
Yeah,
there that can help you and YouTube videos and all that sort of stuff there. Before, you just have to go to the computer tech guy and hope that he could do it reasonably cheaply and not take,
the
7 weeks.
the biggest problem is trying to get the data off that external hard drive because that's probably going to cost us a lot of money.
Yeah, we'll try
But
what Rita said first.
got well, the laptop sounds doable, but that external not so much. We can't even log on to the external. We've tried
Okay.
because that you use a cable to get onto that one. But what she's talking about with my laptop, that probably will work. I hope so anyway, because I know the hard drive's not dead. But with the external, there's something else going on this
Oh,
because
okay.
we've tried it on all the computers in this house and we cannot get in it at all. It has locked me out. It's a Seagate external hard drive, which is usually you don't have trouble with Seagates.
Right.
Why is there this little gap here? That
Okay.
shouldn't be there.
External works the same way, getting stuff on or off. Okay, that's what I was thinking too, but I was like, I don't know enough to.
Yeah, we just when you hook it to the desktop to try to read it, it says cannot read drive. That's what we get for an answer. It can't read it. It looks like it's trying to read it, but it won't let us.
Did I do
So
this right?
something happened to it.
What's going on here?
Did you get something backwards?
No, I was just double checking to make sure I didn't do something wrong.
I'm kind of wishing I had decided to do the 6 inch instead of the 4 inch because after seeing your 6 inch ones and seeing Kimberly's 6 inch ones, I'm like, why did I choose the 4 inch?
I was wondering why you did the 4. I was like, the
I
6 to
don't
me
know
makes
what
so
I
much
would.
more sense because it's
Yeah, I don't know.
so
You
many
know,
less blocks to make, you know?
yeah, we still make the same amount of blocks, I think.
No, because if you're doing, let's say you're doing it, let's say you're just doing a small, like 24 by 24. If you do 6-inch blocks, you would have 16 blocks because it's 4 across, 4 down. If you're doing 4-inch blocks, you'd be doing 36.
Hmm, okay.
So it's like 2.5 times the amount of blocks you have to make.
Yeah, yeah.
That's why I chose the 6. I was like,
Mr. Smarty Pants over there.
well, I'm not a person that really enjoys making the same block over and over and over and over again. So I was like, I don't mind doing this 30 or 40 times, but I don't want to do it 60 or 70 or 112.
Yep, I get it.
Yeah, that was kind of my thing because yeah, I that's why I like these, the tiny piecing too, because it's all that stuff is more sampler. I'm making Winnie the Pooh once or I'm making Alice once. I'm not doing it. I get bored very, very easily, so I like to do it once and move on to something else. So yeah, that's why I picked the 6, and yeah, it works for me. So oh, okay. Dragon Place Adonis says that Kimberly said that they are making an 8-inch paper for the star.
Yeah, are they really? Wow.
Well, apparently so. Yeah. See what and then she also says complete computer literacy equals pick up the phone, call kids, tell them to come over and fix what I did wrong. Yeah, my father-in-law does that to me too. Like, um,
Um, Uh, Rita, to answer your question, yes, the computer can see the drive. It just can't read it for some weird reason.
but yeah, I remember my father-in-law, like, because he's not computer or phone savvy or anything. I'll go over and fix his stuff for him. I don't mind at all, you know. But he was my brother-in-law kept trying to talk him into buying an Apple phone, which I know nothing about. And he asked me, he's like, "Do you think I should get this?" And I said, "I will warn you now." I said, "You buy that and you have an issue, you call him, not me.
Yep.
I do not know how to fix it, and I don't want to learn."
I need to
Um,
be right back. I need to cut something because,
he ultimately decided against it. Like I didn't care if he bought it, but I was like, "Yeah, I don't want to be the one trying to fix this thing when I don't know what I'm doing."
yep.
So yeah, that was his choice. Yeah, I just said, hey, you'll have to call him and get him to help you with this stuff, and that wasn't it. So there you go. All right, I think I might actually get this thing done before I have to run away. Because are you on your third or fourth one,
I'm
Katie?
working on the fourth one right now.
Okay, me too. Where's my piece of fabric? Right there. Oh, there's that one. Okay.
I just need another color.
Make the purple one next, a little later on today.
Okay.
All right, there we go.
Let's see.
So what is everybody else working on today? Because I know, like, Pat said she was going to do this along with us, but what everybody else is working? Yeah. Oh, almost broke it. Katie, do you have a thread cutter thing on your machine, like where it
Yes.
cuts the? Yeah, this machine has that, and I found it's been really, really good, especially for doing this foundation paper piecing.
Yeah. It it works really good actually. I noticed that when it doesn't want to work properly, like I end up it doesn't cut the thread for, it's because it's dirty.
Yeah, I'm probably have to clean mine soon because I've had it now about a month.
If it starts going where it goes through the motions and you hear it cutting the thread, but you end up with the thread not being cut, you need to clean your machine.
Oh, yeah, that I figured. I have cuts really nice. It's just it's a feature I didn't have before, and because
Now,
so I mean,
do you press a button on yours? Because I press a button to make it
yes,
cut the thread.
yeah. There's a button. It's a little scissor button. Um, but yeah, I found it's really really handy
Yeah,
for
I love it because it don't. I still the only time that I have to hand cut is when I'm chain stitching.
right. Yeah, sometimes I use it for other stuff. Sometimes I don't. Like I don't want to wear it out, I guess. But
It should be fine. Mine's 5 years old, and this machine's 5 years old now. I can't believe it. Oh my gosh. And I've only recently seen a couple little minor things going on, and mostly it's because I took too long to clean the darn thing.
yeah,
And that was what was causing the problem. Once I cleaned it, it stopped doing what it was doing.
yeah,
So definitely this particular machine does not like being dirty. And that is not a complaint about the machine because there's nothing else that I can really complain about on this machine. I ha I haven't even learned how to use the the performance end of it, the professional side of it, which
yeah.
I need to order a couple feet before I do, but I definitely someone told me that once I switch over to the performance side of it, I won't go back to this side of it because it's for piecing it's more accurate than doing it on this end of the machine
Oh, okay.
because that's what it's for, is to do exclusive straight stitching, and it is super accurate. I need a specific foot because I want to make sure that I'm doing it. I want to make sure it's doing what I want it to do before I start practicing with it. Working on it. Kathy says she's working on a UFO from 2011. It had hand embroidered blocks from each month, and I intend to finish the quilting and start binding today. Yay! That's excellent. Let's see. Rita says, "Oh wow, I clean mine every 3 days. Period. Clean it and oil it." Well, I don't have to oil mine. They're You're not supposed to do that with this machine.
That's not how I want it to go, but
And she said she's working on 2.5 inch strips together along with any rectangle and with any rectangles all together, similar to what would be the jelly roll race, but not using jelly rolls. What are you having trouble with?
I wanted the fabric placement to be a little different, but that's fine. It's not a bad thing. It's
Are you gonna
no, I'm not ripping it out. It's gonna be different. I don't care that much. First line. Oh, there we go.
get to
We're gonna put
scrap?
this together real quick. I'll show you what I mean once I get it together.
Okay,
As I said, it's not a huge concern.
I just gotta watch my fingers. Normally I stand up and cut stuff. All right. Anyone know how to fix the hydraulics in the chair?
Go ahead and buy a new chair. Or get a new hydraulic thing
Don't
for it.
have money to buy a chair. Not right
I
now,
know.
anyway.
I mean, you might be able to go ahead and get like a new gasket or O-ring or whatever it is. It's probably leaking, but
I
I
don't
don't,
know
I
what's
don't.
wrong with it, but I tell you what, it's been the most aggravating month because there's been two or three things that's happened all at once, and it's like great.
Always the way it goes, it seems.
Yep. And I have a sinking feeling that I'm going to be buying another iron soon. So there's that problem too, because it's been acting weird. It won't heat up like it says it's heated, but when you pick it up, it's still cold.
Yeah, it's die. That's how mine usually die.
And I'm like, please, no, not right now. I can't do this. All this stuff breaking at once. What did I do with that piece of fabric I was going to use?
See, I just got these, like the little steam fast ones.
Well, this one's not that pricey. It's a to fall that I bought from the store, and It doesn't have a cord on the iron itself, which is fine by me, but it's, I don't know.
Yeah.
I lost a piece of fabric, darn it. Let me get my scissors and we'll cut another piece.
Down the line you go. Come here, you.
I don't know what I did with it, but it's not there anymore. Okay, let's get you lined up here. Did you just sneeze?
Coughed.
Oh, okay, because I was about to say bless you if you did.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
I couldn't tell if that was a cough or a sneeze.
Yeah, I don't know half the time either, so.
Well, the
All
Zoom
right.
kind of bleeps it out, you know?
Yeah, it does. Denise says, "Good morning from sunny and warm Quebec." I never think of Quebec as being warm, so that's that. I'm glad to hear that it is warm there sometimes. Every
You'd
time
be
I think of
surprised
Quebec,
how warm Canada is. I have a friend that lives in Toronto, and
uh-huh.
they get 100+ degrees during the summer months.
Yeah, well,
And
they're
I'm
not
like,
that.
in Canada? How's that even possible?
Well, Toronto's not that far north, but I'm thinking more like, up there, Quebec, Nova Scotia. I mean, I've been in Halifax, and it's been 80 degrees, but I've also been to Charlottetown in Prince Edward Island, and it was 45. I was told it's to be like 60 or 65 today. It was supposed to be there. And here I am in my t-shirt and shorts, and it's 45 degrees and freezing to death.
You want to
Um,
guess what our temperature is here today? Take a guess.
uh, 5 Celsius,
No, tell me in Fahrenheit.
40.
Keep going.
Which way? Up, 55.
No, it's 46 degrees and it's been 46 degrees for the last 4 days here.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And we have a wind that's been blowing from the south for 3 of those days. It's still blowing outside. And the lake, when you see the lake, I think on my next live, I'm going to take the cell phone outside so I can show everybody the lake. The lake is thawing out. It's got a dark cast color to it, and that's sure sign it's melting.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you have to
Which
share
means I'm
photos of
sure.
that.
Yeah, so I have a feeling they probably issued a warning. Please stay off the lake.
Oh,
No
yeah, because of
walking
what?
on the lake.
So it should be well and truly iceberg season by now, right?
Still no ice in the. Well, there's no ice here yet. But I saw on someone posted the DMI. This is a like a I don't know if it's a weather uh company or if it's a they just follow ice, but they showed where the ice is at, and the ice is like sea ice is about 3 hours away from here right now. So it
Okay.
may find its way here, but I've told Nikolai, I'm like, and he's with me on this. He said he's had enough of CNC ice to last him for another couple months because that's what they've
Sure.
been fishing. Well, it's because they've been fishing in it, and he's had enough of it because he's um for some strange reason um he's been cold and he usually doesn't complain about being cold. And so and it's because they're fishing in it, and he gets tired of fishing in ice at times.
Oh, I would too.
And right now he's very tired of it. He said. So he
Yeah.
said he wanted to come home to find ice in the fjord. I'm like, I wouldn't hold your breath, honey, because I just looked at that DMI thing that someone posted, and it looks like it's headed this way. But I want to see icebergs because last year there was ice in the fjord for from the third week in February all the way to the third week in July. It was landlocked. It had landlocked all of South Greenland, all that ice. No ships
Interesting.
could get in and out or anything. It was crazy. And I've never
Yeah.
seen it that bad. Denise
All
says,
right.
laugh out loud during the summer. It's 35 degrees in the summer as usual. Oh, cool.
Yeah, so that's about the mid 90s for anyone in the Fahrenheit world.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't bother with Celsius because I have my laptop set to Fahrenheit.
Oh, okay. Well, I usually translate, my lives and stuff too because, we all
Yep,
have
I know.
international audiences and I know them both. So,
Sometimes
that's
somebody will ask. Now I do my thermometer on outside our front door is in Celsius, so I do read that out there. I just
right.
can't do the math in my head with it. That's all.
That's basically what I do. I mean, I've figured it out over the years because I grew up on Celsius and the
Yep, I know
metric
you did.
system.
I haven't even tried to learn any of the metric as far as cooking with it and stuff. I brought all American measurement stuff with me. 'Cause I'm too old to learn that stuff.
Celsius cooking's easy. Water boils, it freezes at 0 and it boils at 100. Like, I don't
Well,
know why
see,
you
I
want to.
know it freezes at 32 degrees Fahrenheit, which is zero in metric, right?
Yeah, but why do 32 and 212 when it can just go 0 and 100? Like, to me, it's just a whole lot
Well, I don't
easier.
know.
But
That's not, but you weren't raised to do it that way.
yeah,
We were,
I
and
know.
it's hard for us.
Yeah,
I
the
mean,
kids,
I
the
think I
kids
picked
here
up.
love it.
I think I picked up the money part the fastest, though. You know, Danish kronas versus U.S. dollar thing.
What is it,
Um,
like seven or eight, right? It's like 7 or 8 krones to the US dollar.
well, it was 6 point something, but the U.S. dollar's dropping, so now would be a good time for me to move money to my American bank account when the U.S. dollar's down.
Yeah.
Because right now it's down, but normally it's around anywhere between 5 point something to 6 point something.
Okay.
So it's like, how does this go? For every one US dollar, it's 7 kroners usually.
Right.
When the dollar is down, it'll be for every $1, it's 5 kroners.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Because I always hear it the other direction because Allie tells me, yeah.
Yeah. And it's because I have to think of it in that direction because when I get tipped quite a bit by Americans and I actually make a lot of money off of Americans, come to think of it.
That's
But
good.
I don't know if we're going to get a lot of Americans this summer, but I already know that we're going to have over 100 cruise ships coming through South Greenland.
Oh, that's fun.
I'm not sure. I haven't took the time to look at all the ships yet to see where they're coming from, but I wish that my boss could find a way to talk to the cruise ships so that they could set some ground rules for the tourists because tourists need to be more respectful because they've been last summer. I couldn't believe my eyes, Sean.
Uh-huh.
We had, and most of them were from off the United States cruise ship that this happened on. They were, I caught four different people sticking their cameras in people's houses because we don't have curtains on our windows. It's a Greenlandic thing. Only our bedrooms do mainly, and the rest of their house doesn't. And they were sticking their camera in, taking pictures of the inside of people's houses.
That's not right. Unless they thought it
And
was
the
like
other,
some.
yeah, and the other thing was is they were going up to the kids' school and taking pictures of the kids playing, and they didn't have permission to take pictures of the kids.
Oh,
And to me, if you just think that there's nothing wrong with that, they got a problem, man.
very true.
Because you should be asking that parent before you just assume you can take a picture of their child.
Yep.
Because you know they're going to turn around and put it on the internet.
Right.
And that child didn't get a say in it. That parent didn't get a say in it.
True.
So that's what we've been running into the last couple of years is this kind of thing's been going on.
Yeah.
But
I'm
when I told
sorry.
my boss about what I saw this past summer, she's like, "Where were you at?" I said, "I was working over there." And she's like, "Oh my gosh." She didn't even know it was going on. And I wasn't the only one that saw him doing it. She got some more reports from some of the other tour guides. They came
Right.
back talking about it too. And she's just like, "Uh-oh, we got a problem." I'm like,
Yep.
yes, you do. And you got to figure out how to solve it without offending anyone.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's see.
I'm
Did you
almost
finish
done
your
here.
blog? You
Yeah,
almost done? Okay.
well, I don't have it sewn together, but I'm almost done with this fourth piece where everybody can at least see it.
Okay.
So give me a minute. I'm
Oh,
trimming
you're
it.
fine. Because
Trying
I
to,
actually finished my block, so I was like, yay.
no, I don't have it sewn together yet. Hey, how did, we left the bottom alone. That's right. We got to leave the bottom alone. First trim line, sew line. Oh,
It's long.
I'm just trying to make sure I don't trim something I'm not supposed to trim.
I know. I always double check and triple check mine too because you don't want to do all this work on it and then find out
And
the
then,
last minute.
yep, and then have a big boo-boo.
Yeah, because then you have to do it all over again. That'd be sad.
Yep, it will. I think I'm gonna leave the bottom part of it alone though, but I'm just gonna trim up the top half of it, and then I'll put it on a design board where they can at least see it because it's not sewn together yet.
Okay. Well, should go together pretty quickly.
Yeah, well, you know me, I'm a slow sewer, so
Yeah, that's all right though.
I thought you had to leave, so
Yeah, I do have some other stuff to do today, but yeah, I'm glad we still were able to jump on for a little while. And
um do you know which weekend we're gonna do the next one? I know
I
we talked
don't,
about it.
I don't yet. Um, I think we were trying to do like the second Sunday in May, which would be Mother's Day. So
Yeah, that's when we were talking about it, but I didn't know how your wife was gonna feel about that.
should be fine. We should be here. We usually stay here for, so maybe, yeah. I mean, if everyone is okay with a Mother's Day,
Well, I
um,
don't care if it's on Mother's Day. I mean, they'll either come or they won't. Especially
yeah,
as early in the morning as we're gonna do it.
yeah. Okay, well, let's plan on Mother's Day, and if we have to change something, we will. But yeah, I think if nothing else, if something that I don't know about it changes, then let's do Mother's Day, which will be I don't know, the 10th or 11th or something like that.
Yeah, you're gonna have to tell me that because the calendar I have doesn't tell me that it's Mother's Day.
The 11th.
Okay.
So
I knew it was like second Sunday, I think.
yeah, it is in most places. I mean, I think in England it's like in March sometime.
Yeah,
So
it's a different month here in Greenland too, but I don't remember which month.
yeah, because like Father's Day here in the US is in June, and then
Yep.
September in Australia it's September. So
Yeah. I don't remember. I have to ask Nikolai when it is, but yeah. So for all of y'all, I know you're hearing our conversation. Um it'll be Sean will be doing the live on the next one, and because we've been rotating every other one. Okay,
yes.
let me put this on a design board so you guys can see what this is going to look like because Sean has to
Okay.
trot out of here, and
Yep.
we'll have some blocks to show you. I do have plenty of courthouse ones done already, but hang on a minute. Let me
Oh, you're fine.
give me a minute.
And then I think I might make the purple one this week and show it on my next podcast as well. So that way I have a couple made up because I've only got the one star done so far.
I just want to make sure I got this put together the way I wanted it. It definitely needs to be pressed. Okay, I hope you guys like this one.
I'm sure we will.
Let me stick some pins in it because it's got paper on the back of it. Did you rip the paper off before you sewed it together?
No, I've always been told that you're supposed to sew it all together and like put the blocks together and then rip the paper out. Is that not right?
I don't think it's not right. From what I hear, you're supposed to leave it on, but we all know that Kimberly didn't.
Oh, I'll figure it out later. I think I'll make the blocks
But you
first and
watched the
then.
video too, and she peeled them off, but she also peeled them off because she wanted to press something in one direction.
Oh,
It,
okay.
it was she wanted to nest the seams together, so
Yeah, I
she
pressed mine open.
yeah.
So,
All right, this is what.
oh, that's pretty.
And by the way, this is not trimmed. Yeah, it's not trimmed off. I didn't
I,
trim it
I
off.
was I was figuring that was
Just,
probably the
just
case.
ignore that. It hadn't been trimmed off.
Yep.
I
So
got
there
to
we
trim it
go.
off. I didn't trim this one off. Sorry.
That's okay. At least we could have a nice idea.
Yeah, but it's colorful. You like
Yeah, it
it?
is. I do. I think it's going to look really nice.
Can't believe I didn't trim that off, but okay. Oh, I didn't even, it's missing the white piece here too. I wasn't done with that one.
That's all right.
Oops,
I was
oops.
talking about not being done. I was putting my Wild West together this week,
Yeah.
and I pulled out, got to the section where it was like clues three, it was going next to whatever one it was. And I open up clues three and I pull out all these pre-cut pieces of fabric and I'm like, why is all this extra stuff here? And then I realized I was supposed to have four of these blocks and I only made two. So
Oh.
like, well,
Um,
I guess I never finished that one. So
what do you think about the Phoenix colors?
love them. I think they look really, really nice. Um, I've- I'm really looking forward to seeing how that all progresses and comes together because I'm normally the petite man, but um, I
Those
am
colors
doing,
are, yeah. When I saw the green, I'm like, uh-oh. I knew there was three shades of green, but when I saw it in person, I'm like, oh no. But then when I started building the block, it looks great. I mean, and especially
yeah,
because that orange and yellow just like pops out at you. It's like right in your face.
you've got to trust the process. I
Yep,
know I've talked about it before, like when I did So Sweet, my very first one. I love the colors that, on the little wheel when I bought the colorway and I started assembling this and I'm like, I don't know how this is going to look. I saw the final design on Clue 10. I was like, I still don't know how I'm gonna like this. I was like, this might be a gift for someone else. I put it together and I fell in love with it.
yep,
So just
yep,
trust the process and you may be unsure of it the whole way through, like I was. But at the end you gotta I have a fair idea in my head that I think you'll love it. So
yep.
there
This was a group choice. I had shared that
hmm
colorway along with the one that was the other boutique one, which I can't remember the name of it to save my life.
Nightingale or something like that.
Nightingale, and then there was the one that was red and black, or it was black and white. I can't remember which one it was. It was, I think it was the red and white and something.
Yeah,
And so, but that one was cotton, and while the other two were batiks, and everybody made voted on Nightingale. But then they all commented down below the poll saying, "We really think you should do Phoenix because," and they gave lots of great reasons why. And I'm like, well, okay. So I got to thinking about their comments, and I'm like, okay, they want me. They know I love batiks, but this is outside my wheelhouse because they haven't seen me really do those type of colors. So I
yeah.
just let's just go by what everybody else wanted, and I think it's going to be fun. It'll be
You're
interesting.
gonna love it. Yeah, I
I
really
think
do
it'll
think
be
that.
good. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm hoping so anyway. I think that those two colors are going to probably be what makes the whole entire quilt, probably.
yeah.
I'm thinking that anyway.
Well, thank you so much for having me today, Katie. It
Yep.
was fun hanging out with you for a while, and I love this pink block. I thought it was really, really nice, and I'm looking forward to doing the purple one soon too.
Okay. So tell them when your next live is going to be and when you drop your next video. Do you know when you're doing that?
Oh, you mean for this project or?
Or for the next, no, later in the
Uh,
week.
Normally I'm live on 8 a.m. Saturday morning. So if you like a Saturday, like an early morning weekend live, come join me 8 a.m. Saturday morning, and then podcast 8:30 on Sunday morning. So if you yeah finish watching Katie's videos, you can come over and check out my podcast and see what I got up to this week as well.
Yeah, I watched your podcast. No, wait, no, that's not what I watched last night. I watched your morning live last night.
Okay,
That's what I watched. I watched it in the bedroom last night because I wasn't
so
asleep. I had
you didn't watch the podcast this morning.
no,
Is that
not
posted
yet
after we went live?
because this morning I was getting ready for the live. I haven't been to bed, just so you know.
Yeah, so
So
now's a good time
anyway,
to go.
yeah. So okay, everyone. Um, what was I gonna say? My next live will be Tuesday at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is not my usual time for lives because this is the only day of the week I can get up with the two people that are joining me. And we're not going to be sewing, we're going to be crocheting. And I will be doing a couple unboxing of crochet boxes. And so come and join me and Andy and Shonda. Andy's her channel name is Crafty Witch 232, and then Shonda is a quilter, which y'all know. Her channel is Under the Needle, so make sure you drop in to watch our live on Tuesday because we're going to be talking all things yarny,
There you
and
go.
that'll be fun. And then I just want you guys to have a great Sunday and thank you for coming today. I appreciate all of y'all. Thank you for always showing kindness and grace to me and
Yes, thank
Sean.
you.
We appreciate it.
Yep.
And thank you for coming to the live today. Remember to live, laugh, love, and dream. What do you do with all that? You make something beautiful. See y'all
All
later
right.
on the next
Good night.
live.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.
Let me disconnect. Okay, here we go. That stopped.